Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show. I'm back. Did y'all miss me? I don't think that anyone missed me, but I'm back anyway. It's a threat, not a not a good thing. No, went down to Florida for a couple days, had some fun, and chilled out. So it's good, and now it's good to be back. And we are here with the best guests to come back to, and that's our friends from the Jackson City Library. And there are 4 of them here today, so you are in for a treat. And if you're wondering why there's Bigfoot on all of our shirts, well, we're going to tell you here in a minute. But of course, Melissa and Ian are our first 2 guests here, and then we'll get to John and Roger in just a minute, and they're going to talk more about some of the older kid stuff. So we'll talk about kids and teens, and then go on up, right?
Yep.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yes, we're so happy to have you. Ian already taught me something this morning, a new word that we're not going to talk about here on the air.
Yeah.
Unless you want to.
No, I'm fine.
No, you're good? It was on someone's vehicle outside, and I said, "What does that mean?" And he said,
Yeah, it was an educational moment.
It was, but not an appropriate moment for TV. So now I know, though.
That's right.
And I will say, while you guys were on the radio, I asked Adrian if he knew what that word meant, and he totally did. So it must be a youngin thing.
Yeah.
Did I give an accurate definition? Did it line
yes.
up? I tried to censor myself a little bit.
Yeah, Adrian said kind of what you said, and he
Kind
knew
of.
the word. I even said what it meant, not what the word was, and he said the word. So yeah. Do you want to talk about it, Adrian? No, he doesn't want to talk about it either. Okay. All right. Well, we have a message, and then we have to tell you about a lot of fun stuff coming up at the Jackson City Library for the summer. Yay, it's finally summer.
No, right? If the weather would just
I
cooperate.
mean, it is. So I was looking at the weather, though, because this is like, to come back to.
Yeah.
So, but it's looking really good, like 80s and sunshine for the beginning of the week.
I hope so.
We'll take it.
Yes.
But all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have a message, and then we will be back and start telling you about some of the fun things that are going on at the Jackson City Library all summer long.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, and we are back with Melissa and Ian from the Jackson City Library, and you all kind of, well, you start with the kids, right? Like you do the little ones, and then Ian does kind of the teens stuff. So let's, so you all, I don't know how you plan so much stuff, but you do so many fun things for the kiddos for the summer.
We try.
Well, you do it all year, round, but the
Summers
summer
are big.
Yeah,
June and July.
You guys like blow it all out.
We try.
Yeah,
We try.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us what you have going on.
Well, I mean, we have our normal everyday activity, like that go through the whole year, like story times and then different programs that we plan. But the summer is the summer reading program I'm really excited about this year. We've got, next week will be our kickoff party. We're going to have a DJ, do a dance party, just do our kickoff. The following week, we're having something called Dino Roar. We've never had it before, and it's an interactive dinosaur program, and it's supposed to be super cool. So I'm hoping. I think the kids will love it.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, they bring dinosaur, like actual dinosaur fossils, so the kids can look at them. It's interactive and it's educational as well as fun. So I'm hoping the kids will love it.
We're doing. Kid doesn't like dinosaurs.
I know, right? We're doing Touch a Truck again. And everybody, the sheriff's department, police department, fire department, State Patrol, they have all been amazing about wanting to come and hang out with the kids.
Love it.
We've got Lisa Kennard with PBS. She's coming to do a program from PBS. The OSU STEM bus is going to be back this year. That was last year. There wasn't even hardly any standing room when we had the STEM bus. Like, it was jam-packed. It was
awesome.
great. Yeah. And then this year we're going to have something a little different called Wildly Creative.
Okay.
So I don't know if you've been through that alley behind the library, but we had purchased the land back there, and we're going to have a discovery garden. And so we're going to utilize that. We're going to have a couple stations there, but then a couple more set up around the library where kids can do tie-dye. They're going to be able to pot their own plants.
Okay, so fun.
Sidewalk chalk art. We're doing, they can make a journal. It's like a make and take journal. And then just like a craft buffet. There's just going to be a table with tons of craft stuff, and they can just make whatever their imagination can come up with. We're also having Rusty Ammerman back this year. He's a magician. He's amazing. The kids all love him. Cartoonist Jeff Nicholas, he's going to teach the kids how to draw cartoons. He'll be there.
Fun.
And then we're going to have, and a new one this year is Steven's Puppets. He's a puppeteer. So everybody's raved about him, so I hope the kids love him.
That sounds like a blast. So how do you come up with the entertainment for the summer? Because there's a plethora of stuff out there, but you also have to do stuff that the kids enjoy. How do you know?
We're with the kids all the time. So at least 5 to 6 days a week we're with the kids. So you kind of figure out what they like and what they don't like, kind of what's in, what's not right now, that sort of thing. But we also talk to other libraries.
So libraries are trendy too.
We try. We try. But we talk to other libraries. We sit down and just kind of brainstorm what we think will work, what's within the budget, that sort of thing. And we just try to come up with something that the kids will enjoy that's educational as well as entertaining.
And it can be both.
It absolutely can.
All the time. Yes. So the great thing about the Jackson City Library, and I think most libraries around our area, is all of the programming is free.
Absolutely.
And you all work very, very hard, as you said, to keep things within your budget, but yet that are amazing for our local people. And would kids from outside the Jackson area be allowed to come to these things?
Any child that wants to come.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and they don't have to be from Jackson.
There you go. Yeah. So everyone is welcome.
We've had some in the past who have come from other states that stay with their grandparents in the summer here.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, and they've come, some from Columbus that come down and stay with their grandparents during the week. And so, we have kids who are not from our area.
You know why? Because all roads lead to Jackson. It's so weird.
Yes.
I can remember growing up, my cousins lived in Worthington. And, that may as well been in California because, you don't have any control over when you can go see them. But it was always such a special treat when they would come down and visit for the summer. And it was so weird because one of my cousin's best friends growing up, and her grandma lived in Wellston.
Oh, that's funny.
So it was like we would all get together, and then one of her best friends from school was down here too. It was like so cool, and I think about that, and I remember the first time I went bowling was with them, and all of that stuff. So I feel like everybody knows somebody from this area, and so many kids have families and whatever from this area. It's wild.
We just, like I said, we just love having them, come and enjoy the library.
Absolutely.
To cultivate that love of reading early.
You've got it. And, that is kind of the whole point of the library, amongst all the other fun stuff that happens. So tell us back up a minute and tell us about the reading program throughout the year that you do for the kiddos.
Well, basically, we just have different programs just to get them into the library.
Times,
we do story
like
times. Every Monday and Thursday at 11, I do a story time. It's not, there's no cap on age. We've got homeschoolers that come that bring brothers and sisters and they hang out. They may not always be interested in what we're doing, but they're there in the library. But it's just all through the year we do different reading challenges where they read so many books and they get to put their name in.
It's like a competition.
Prize. Yeah.
Fun.
Basically. So and we'll be doing that again this summer with our summer reading.
Really?
Sometimes it's a passport. Sometimes it's just a sheet, a bookmark. It just depends.
Okay. See, some kind of incentive.
Yeah.
I can remember growing up, there was one time, and I forget what it was called, Book It. Do you remember Book It?
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Do you remember it? And if you read so many books, you got a personal pizza from
Pizza Hut.
And I remember I was like, Mom, I have got to read these books, and now you've got to take me to Pizza Hut. It was like because it didn't really matter. It was just you won something and you had to go get it.
I mean, with the little ones, you don't need as much incentive. They just love to come and have fun.
Sure.
Once you get up to the teens, I think you probably need a little more incentive.
Yeah, well, because they're busy.
Yeah.
They have a little bit
They've
more
got
stuff to do.
Lots going on.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
So, do you want to give, kind of go through and tell the dates and the times? Because it looks like most of the things are at the same time, other than maybe
it's
one
always
or two.
going to be Wednesdays in June and July. Always on Wednesday at 2:00, except for the
Okay.
cartoonist, and that's July 23rd, and they're at 3:00. But this will
Okay.
be available. Follow us on Facebook. We'll put it on the website this week. So this schedule will be available, so people, and it's also, you can come in and pick one up. They're up at the front desk.
Oh, okay. And then I see there's like a QR code and stuff that you can scan for all of that.
Yeah, so go to the website. Yep.
Wednesdays, 2:00.
2:00.
Be there, be square.
That's right.
And everything is at the library this year.
Yes, everything's
Right.
at the library this
Okay.
year.
Because I know. a
Or
couple
library
times-
adjacent, like in the parking lot of the church. That's where we do touch a truck.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Look for the ginormous trucks.
Yeah,
You,
yeah, you can't miss them.
you can't really miss that. And no, I think that this new garden that you all have, where you were able to acquire some land and do this garden thing, is so cool because, like you said, teaching the kids something as simple as, I didn't know how to plant flowers until I had my own house.
Right.
Like, my mom always did it, and they were gorgeous. And then I was all intimidated because I felt like all this pressure to do flowers like my mom did, and
Right.
I had no idea how to do it. So teaching the kids just something as simple as how to plant a flower, which, by the way, is like the most easy thing in the world
Yeah.
to do. But
Keeping it alive's a hard thing.
that is
Planting, it's easy.
That
Keeping it
is
alive,
true.
yeah.
But yeah, just something like that they can do on their own, and then
Yeah.
they can nurture that little plant all throughout the year.
Well, and we're hoping too. We partner with Maddie at OSU Extension.
Yes.
And we're going to do chicks again. And we're hoping that this time we get more than one chick. The last two times we've done it, we've only gotten one baby chick. And hopefully, if we get more than one, we can put like a little chicken house out there so that we can keep them a little bit longer and the kids can learn, about that.
Love that.
Fingers crossed we get more than one chickie.
Yes, let's go for it. Come on, Maddie. Get your eggs together.
Yeah.
Well, you need to have a talk with these eggs.
Yes.
No, that is a really cool project, too, just to let the kid, gives them something to watch for and all that.
Yeah.
So, Ian, what do you have going on? Because I know you kind of focus more on the teen projects,
Yeah.
and that could be a little harder to keep their interest.
Yeah, sometimes. So I am still on Tuesdays. We're still doing Dungeons and Dragons at 3 and Roblox at 6. It's going to be every Tuesday except for 1 week. And then Thursdays also except for 1 week. I do a craft or an activity or something like that. That's also at 3 o'clock. But this year, the week of June 8th, so that's going to be every day from 10 to 4. I'm going to have like programs all day. That is, registration is required for that.
On June 8th?
June 8th through the, I think, 13th. That's Monday through to that
Oh,
Friday.
okay. So almost like a camp.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Basically, that's what it is. Yeah.
There are, I think, 3 spots open left. So, I mean, if
wow.
anyone wants to get on that, they better.
What are the age requirements there?
6th grade through 9th, I think, is what we put
Okay.
on the paperwork. We typically don't get high school kids, but I mean, if a sophomore wanted to do it, it wouldn't
You'll
say
be
no.
flexible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have a bunch of activities, programs, games, and I think we're hoping that we can maybe get them a couple of books. But the idea is that they come in, we'll do a program with them. We'll have them do a craft. Maybe in the afternoons we'll play some board games, and then before they leave, we'll send them out into the library and tell them they have to get a book.
You do have to read something.
Yeah, it is a threat. But there's all sorts of stuff I've got planned. I think it's going to be super fun. We're going to be touring this place. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, they're gonna come
No,
they're gonna be
but
here.
cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we won't do too many mean things to the kids.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. It's good for them. It builds character.
Right.
But I mean, we're going to be doing really cool stuff like we're going to be making coasters. I thought that sounded with like alcohol ink. Yeah, I've never done that
Fun.
before. It sounds really fun. We're
Yeah.
going to be dyeing scarves with Sharpies. One thing I've done before that was a huge hit was we're going to be making catapults out of popsicle sticks.
I mean, anytime you
Yeah.
can like fling things or blow
Yeah.
something up,
Right.
it's
And
good,
like,
right? Like
I still have the one that I made like years ago now, and it's pretty powerful, honestly. Like
I kind of did it too good.
No, you can like launch stuff across a room and it goes really far.
Love that.
That's one of my favorite things that we've done. We're also, off the top of my head, we're going to be doing squirt gun art. So like we're going to go outside, set up a big canvas. We're going to water down paint, put it in squirt guns, and I mean, you can kind of just go ham on it, but one thing that is really cool is if you get painter's tape, you can make it like a negative space art where you put tape up on the canvas.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just, you paint around it automatically almost.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take some polls of the kids whenever we first start and see if there's anything that I can throw together that week that they want to do. One thing I've been tossing around in my head is do the thing where you take a watermelon and you just put rubber bands around it until it blows up. Have you ever heard of people
Please
doing
do that outside.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to be an outside thing.
I mean, like I said, what kid doesn't like to,
blow stuff up?
Blow something up.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought that looked really cool. And then plus,
I wonder
you
how
can
many
like
rubber
eat it.
bands it would take to do that.
I feel like probably a lot.
A lot,
Yeah.
yeah.
When I lifeguarded out at the country club, the other lifeguard and I on the 4th of July, because we knew it was going to be super busy, so we were trying to come up with like fun things for the kids to do. So we Crisco'd a watermelon and threw it in the pool.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It makes it really slippery and you can't
They
grab
can't
it.
get hold of it, and so whoever gets it's like a grease pig.
I see.
Yeah,
basically.
I
So
get it.
imagine trying to jump in the pool and wrestle a Crisco watermelon.
wow.
So you could do that.
Yeah, go to the pool and
Yeah.
put Crisco in the
I'm
pool.
sure that the pool people would just love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of pigs, we're going to have at story time this Thursday. We're going to have Snowflake the piglet for story time.
Like a little baby
Yes.
pig.
Man.
Yes. Yeah.
Can I come?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have pig Snowflake at the at story time. Yeah.
Love that.
Anyway, go ahead.
So good.
Sorry.
Okay, yeah, no, we have to blow up the watermelon.
Sure,
I
yeah.
need to know, and then if you do that, you need to videotape it.
Yeah,
like
certainly,
time lapse it,
yeah.
so we know how long.
That's one of the things I definitely want to like record for posterity.
Yes, for sure.
What else have I got? Poker is a really big thing that the kids like to do at my programs. They kind of beg me to do that pretty much all year
Learning
round.
poker, huh?
Yeah, it's like an important life skill.
I mean, it is. You should listen.
Doc Holliday said it was a profession.
You go back and I think about learning euchre and how many
yeah.
No.
how many games of euchre I've played
Yeah,
over the years.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, and poker, same.
You'd be really surprised that they are pretty into like the traditional card games. I mean, I taught a couple of them how to play spades, and that was like creating a monster because
Like
then.
everything old comes new
Yeah,
again.
Yeah.
it does. It also
Unfortunately, that one
Yeah.
requires like exactly 4 people to play. You can't have any more or less, and so
Yeah.
that
Kind of like
that was
euchre.
like getting the stars aligned to try and get 4 people to play that with just the kids that were cycling in and out.
Gotcha.
But no, that's going to be a really popular one. I hope at least. And then we have
Do they
like.
need to bring hundreds with them?
Yeah, I mean, preferably as much money as their parents will give them. I'm not going to put any money in, but
Teaching you to gamble at
yeah,
the public
I'm
library.
usually a lot better than them. But we also have a lot of board games that you can check out at the library.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go through those. We've got a couple that are like kind of party games that I'm gonna throw in. Anything that is for a large group would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
We've got one called Herd Mentality, where I think the idea is that you kind of want to. It's sort of like that game. Categories.
Okay.
Sort of like that, but you are trying to pick the same thing that you think everyone else is going to pick.
Okay.
And if you don't, you get like out of context, it would sound really weird, but it's like based on cows, and you get like a pink cow, and you don't want the pink cow.
Pink cows are bad.
I know.
Apparently.
Yeah. When you just say it like
Who
that,
knew?
it sounds kind of strange.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that
Right.
does kind of sound strange, but it's okay. I
Yeah.
believe you.
It's like a little pink cow. You get a thing.
You don't want that.
But yeah, I mean, that's going to be, so that is the week of June 8th through the 13th, I believe.
Okay.
10 to 4 every day.
Do the kids get fed and stuff?
They do get fed,
Okay.
yes. Lunch is free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And I guess I should have put this on the the sign up sheet. If you have any food allergies, you probably
Yeah.
want to let us know.
Let us know. Yeah.
Yeah, because one of them did, and I was like, oh well, that's gonna change what I do now.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah, it's going to be super fun. I'm really excited for it.
No, that's really exciting. And again, that's all free, right, for the kids?
Completely free.
How do they sign up?
Just call into the library. Like I said, there's only like 2 or 3 spots left, so you better hurry. Call into the library. We need a name and phone number. That's it.
Okay.
And then I'll call you whenever it's time and remind you.
Okay, very good. And then, so parents don't have to come with them or anything like that. So, no, that sounds like a blast.
Well, and we're partnering with OU to have a STEM camp. It's going to be every Thursday in July, 11 to 12. 11 to 12. Grades 3 through 8 ish. And
Love that.
every week that they're there, they're going to do a learning activity, and they'll be able to like take home. Like they're going to do the hex bugs. What else are they doing, John?
Fold scopes.
Yeah, fold scopes, hex bugs. I mean, just really cool stuff. So
You know, I wish that, I don't know, I feel like growing up, STEM stuff was like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah,
but
we didn't
now
have a
it's
lot of
like
that,
they
yeah.
get, I mean, that's like what you should be learning.
Right.
And it should be encouraged, not like discouraged.
And we always try to do STEM programs. I mean, that's not the whole of our programming. Some of it's just for fun, but we like to do STEM programs. That way, the kids, like I said, it's learning and fun.
It is. It's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So, very good. All right, so you have that camp. Is there anything else you wanted to tell us about the teens?
Not really. I mean, like I said, Roblox every week at 6, Dungeons and Dragons 3:30-ish on. Those are on Tuesdays. And then Thursdays I just have regular crafts and activities planned. That's at 3. But those will not be on the week of that camp. 'Cause
Okay,
we're going to be
that
doing
makes
that camp
sense.
instead.
Yeah.
But
Right.
otherwise, that's every week.
Okay.
And we usually have at the front desk, and I'm sure we'll put it on the website and put it up on Facebook, but we have our regular calendar, which just has everything that we always normally do, and then we have our summer reading series that has the special programming.
Love that. And you can find all that out by either checking out the website or Facebook or stopping by the library. I mean,
Yeah.
God forbid you just walk in.
Yeah. Or call
That
us.
sounds fun.
Yeah, give us a call, 286-4111.
Yes, that's right. And you can pet, is it just one guinea pig?
Yeah,
You
Gwenny.
can't pet her either.
You can't
so-
pet her. Yeah,
No.
no.
Okay.
But you can look at her. She's super cute. You can look at her.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to be
Yeah.
petted.
No, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because I would hold her every day.
Yes,
She did. But
right.
she doesn't like to be petted.
She's not.
People pig.
Yeah, she's not a people
She's
pig.
not a people pig. But there will be a little
Yes, the snowflake will be there Thursday. So
pig. Yeah. Come see Snowflake.
We're going to do a story and some kind of activity, and then we might even do pictures with Snowflake. It depends on how much Snowflake can take.
I mean, you just remember Snowflake is a baby.
Yes.
So, yeah,
So.
I gotcha. Well, very good. Is there anything else you wanted to mention before we get to the other two?
Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm doing book page flowers. We're making flowers out of discarded books.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I've seen it out of maps, not books.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Fun. Good for you.
It'll be fun. Yeah, hopefully. Be there. 3 o'clock.
Do you have to bring your own book?
No.
BYOB? Huh?
I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah, I was
if you
gonna
got
say.
one you want to destroy, go ahead, but
But you don't have to.
you don't have to. No.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. And you all have a summer chock full of all kind of things for our kiddos and our teens. And we can't wait for that. So, all right. Well, let's bring the other two over. And thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back after this.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
All right, and we are back with Roger and John from, of course, the Jackson City
Hello.
Library. And if you all are wondering why we have these T-shirts on, we have saved that story for these two. Or if you watch this show regularly, you will know why.
Yeah,
If you're a regular viewer, you'll know that every conversation ends with a Bigfoot conversation whenever the library
With
comes
us,
to visit.
Yes.
So anyway, for this year's summer reading, the theme was Color Our World, and we wanted to do a Bigfoot event this year and we invited Bigfoot, and he's supposed to actually attend. So
Is he?
It's
Is
a
he
big
coming?
deal. Yeah, I need to get a shirt for him probably ordered.
Yeah.
I'll have to send him an email. It's kind of strange Bigfoot communicates by email, but he's old school kind of.
I get that.
He has AOL still.
Why does he have? He does it dial up.
So anyway, it was Color Our World, and we thought, we'll have some art things, and who does people know about art? Well, obviously Bob Ross.
Yeah.
And the library
That's why
obviously
Bigfoot has an afro.
Yeah,
I
so
was getting ready to ask you.
So he's Bob Ross Bigfoot. And he's working on some artwork.
He's doing
just
a happy
kinda
little tree.
It ties it all together.
I love it.
What had happened was I had the ideas that I wanted Bigfoot, I wanted Color Our World, I wanted Bob Ross, and I wanted our logo. So I emailed Brittany Potter, and I was like, these are the 4 things I want in a design. Make it happen.
Can you do this?
And she
Well, I
came
mean,
up with
in pure Britney fashion, of course.
And Brittany came up with this for us, so yeah.
Love
It
that.
worked out well.
Thank you, Brittany, for these awesome T-shirts. We love it. So
Next year we can reuse that and just put some bell bottoms on them. You can be Shaft Squatch.
That's true. We'll just keep evolving our.
my mind is blown right now. So, are these available?
They aren't, but if somebody really wanted one, I mean, we could make it happen here at Total Media, I'm sure, because they have the stuff. I don't mind if they use our artwork because
They have
it's
the
really
stuff.
Brittany's artwork, so
Yeah, they have the goods, and she does work here. So
That's true. She
Yeah.
does work here, and I know that she always enjoys getting a text from me. I'm sure she regrets all those years ago that she gave me her phone number because she'll just get a random text every 6 months like, "Hey, I need this."
I need a Bob Ross Sasquatch.
Yeah, and
she's
she's always like,
"Yeah,
okay." But she makes
Whatevs.
But she makes it happen. So
Hey, there you go. I think she made Elf Jen up there too.
yeah,
So yeah,
that seems like Brittany's work. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
weird stuff. Talented people. We
Definitely.
just come up with weird stuff. So, what is going on with you guys this summer?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff planned. So I do mostly the adult programming. So this year my goal was kind of to get people in the library and just have a place for them to hang out.
Okay.
So some of my programs are designed to do that. On every Monday, we're going to be doing Mancala.
I've never heard of that. I saw your flyer.
You've never heard of
and-
Mancala? Mancala is like one of the oldest board games.
Okay.
It's easy to play, easy to learn, but it takes, once you learn it, there's a little bit of strategy involved. It probably
Okay.
takes maybe like 5 minutes to learn how to play. So
But it
it's
takes
good.
a long time to learn how to be good at it, probably.
You kind of have to think ahead a little bit, a couple moves, I guess, and pay attention to what the other person is doing. So we're going to be doing that every Mondays at 2.
Okay.
So if you're interested in board games or you just want to come and hang out, see some people, watch some people play the games, it's a really fun game. It doesn't take very long to play. That's another thing I liked about it because sometimes you'll start playing a board game and they just go on and on and on. And
Yeah.
Continue the next day.
after a while,
like Monopoly.
they're supposed to be fun, but after a while it becomes a chore and you don't want to play it anymore.
That or you just get
So-
mad at each other.
Get mad at each other, and Dad goes and gets a loaf of bread, and you never see him again.
So Moncala is a quick game. It's easy to learn, so you can play multiple times, and we're going to do it for like an hour, so you'll be able to play multiple times. So really excited to do that, and hope a lot of people come out to that.
No, it looks fun, and
I-
there's pretty marbles involved, or pretty
I was telling
pieces.
Which Bigfoot would be very.
I was gonna
He
say-
would approve.
Yeah.
Well, that or he would steal the game and run.
Well,
Because that is Bigfoot money right there.
When I
That's
was making this flyer, I was looking online for pictures of Moncala boards, and there's people in like Africa that will just dig holes in the ground and play it, so it wasn't just rocks. Maybe when we have our garden ready, we can do that.
yeah. Well, that's kind of cool.
ground. Yeah.
Then that just means it's a game that you can actually just create out of anything.
Yeah.
So if you're just like stranded on a desert island with some other person,
I mean, it
you're
is
like, let's play
true.
Mancala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, sure, that's the way I want to
That
go
would be
out.
a great skill to know.
Yep. So that's going to be every Mondays at 2. Also on Mondays, I'm going to be doing a walk and talk book club. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be meeting at Manpower Park, and people can get our apps, Hoopla or Libby, and listen to audiobooks as they walk. And then after we do, I don't know if we'll just do it for a mile or a certain amount of time, we'll all get together and talk about what books we're reading. We'll be reading or listening to our own books. We won't be doing the same ones. It's kind of a BYOB, bring your own book.
Okay, so you can listen to kind of like whatever book that you want and then discuss what you're getting from that with the other people.
Get some recommendations for books.
Okay.
So really looking forward to that. So because it's combining exercise and getting people to use our apps because they're really nice apps. They're free.
Right.
Like if you're paying for things like Audible, you're kind of wasting your money because Hoopla has ebooks, audiobooks, and if you have a Roku TV, there's an app on that where you can stream movies.
Really?
Yep.
You know, and it was interesting. Like I just said that we had gone down to Florida for a few days, and I, sitting in the sun, number one, my old eyes can't see very well anymore anyway, but I have found like audiobooks. I'm like, this is so good because I can sit there and people watch.
Yeah.
Because God knows there's enough of that to do. And then, if you're out in the sun and you can't see as well, you can listen. So those are for free.
Yep.
If you have a library card.
And I've never really done audiobooks before, so I'm really curious to see what that experience is going to be like.
It is like, I will say, if you listen long enough, you tend to, I do that reading though too.
Yeah.
like you tend to.
Yeah, you kind of depending on what you're
Space out.
doing, you kind of space out.
But if you're on vacation, you really don't care.
I'm the same with like I don't do podcasts because I know I wouldn't be able to pay attention. If it was like a YouTube video of it, I could watch that. But
Yeah.
I know Roger listens to a lot of audiobooks.
audio
Do you have
and
to like
podcasts.
do you have
That's
to
what-
like almost like learn how to listen to them or
I don't think so.
you get used to them? I don't
I
know.
think you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah. And I think,
Because, I guess it's just kind of, I don't know, just whatever you prefer or whatever. Kind of like a learned thing, too, I guess. Because if you're a person that listens to, like, the radio or, like, things like that more anyway, like, I don't know.
So you just have to kind of get used to it
but I
and just
will
start doing it.
say, listening to an audiobook is, I kind of liken it a little bit, and Melissa probably agree with me on this, to the book is always better than the movie. Because even if you're reading a book, whatever that person sounds like and how they talk and everything, you're making that up in your mind. And if you're listening to an audiobook, sometimes you're like, that's not what that person sounds like.
and-
But if you're, at the beach and you don't want to like really think that much, it's a good alternative.
And with the narrator or whoever, that's doing it, it really makes a huge difference.
If
like
they're
if you
annoying,
listen to
you're like, I can't.
Yeah, and if you listen to an audiobook, like Neil Gaiman does a lot of his own audiobooks, pretty well all of them. Like it's so much different hearing it from in the authors because it's exactly the way they wanted it.
Yeah.
So like that makes a big difference.
You know who? You should just have audiobooks where Matthew McConaughey reads them all. That would be awesome. See that? Yep. Anywho,
Yeah, so
we digress.
That's going to be every Mondays at 6, weather permitting.
No, I think that's so fun. So you get some exercise, you get to talk about books and some
get some book
fellowship
recommendations. Maybe
But
hang out for a little while.
Before
afterwards.
we'd done hikes before, but this time I wanted to kind of actually incorporate things we have at the library. So we'll be doing
That's great.
walking and talking. I couldn't call it a walking book club because that is trademarked, and whoever the lady that trademarked that will go after us.
she'll
course
walk
she
behind
will.
you and take you out.
She will.
So that's another Monday thing at 6. We are bringing back our tea times, our talking teas. Those we did those in the wintertime, and those were really popular. We make tea and got some baked goods, and people just come and hang out and talk just about whatever.
It doesn't have to be books. Can it
No.
be just whatever?
No, that's usually
More just hanging out.
it's mostly just hanging out and just kind of just like a natural conversation you'd have if you went to visit, your Aunt Thelma or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just kind of like whatever happens, and it's a lot of fun, really.
Yep.
Cool.
So maybe since it's summertime, we'll do iced tea and lemonade, and
Yeah.
have some hot tea too. But yeah, we're looking forward to getting that started again. That's going to be every Tuesdays at 2, which is the same time we did it in the wintertime.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to starting that up again. And you know anything about Warhammer?
I do not.
All right. Usually,
But I bet you're going to tell me.
Usually, I've asked a couple people that, and the thing they know about is that Henry Cavill plays it.
Who's Henry Cavill?
He was Superman.
Oh, okay.
The Superman before our new Superman. So that's usually what most people's extent their knowledge of Warhammer. Warhammer is they're little figures that you got to put together and then paint, and then there's like a tabletop board game you play with them, and it's similar to kind of Dungeons and Dragons because you have to when you're attacking somebody you got to roll, and then they can roll to see if they defend it. So it's similar to that.
Do you have to be diagnosed with OCD, or can you just be like...
Man, it helps. 'Cause I've been like, now...
You have to bring a diagnosis with you. Like, what's your criteria to join?
I learned about this at like a librarian conference, and it's like a free kit that you can get. Warhammer is a pretty expensive hobby. But they send this kit to libraries for free. So if anybody's interested in getting started, so this is a good way to like dip your toes into the hobby. Because of that.
Enter your OCD-edness.
But yeah, I didn't know anything about it, so I've been reading. It's kind of become my life, learning about how to play this stuff. So I'm like, I got like numbers. I'm like a beautiful mind. The numbers are just floating in my head right now, and I'm like, okay, if I roll a 6, that's a critical hit. So he can't dodge that.
I thought it was kind of weird you kept saying that during our conversations yesterday in my office. Like, I'm going to give you a critical hit. Like, can't you just tell me what you're doing?
But we're going to do that every Thursday at 6. So
Can you paint your guys however you want?
You can. But that might mess up people's OCD because they're kind of supposed to look like that.
Oh.
But, I mean, different colors. There's different regimens and guilds that they can be in, and different colors. But we're going to learn how to build them, paint them, and play.
Okay, and when is this again?
That's every Thursday at 6.
I mean, cool.
And it's kind of
again not good for Jen's old eyes that can't see anything. But
yeah, the figures are like this big.
Yeah, that's so good.
So you're going to need one of those like jeweler monocle things.
I'll go see Alan Terry, see if he can lend me something.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to that, and it's something that I think a lot of it's going to be for like teens and adults.
No, that does sound like fun. It's something that you could do as a family.
Yeah.
Like create your own.
Warhammer is a hobby, and there's different. If you want to just build the figures and paint them, you can do that. If you want to learn how to play the game, you can do that. There's also books. You can read books. There's going to be a movie starring Henry Cavill in probably a couple of years from now because he's going to be doing a movie that.
I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for it.
Yeah. So whenever you see that Warhammer movie, the commercial for that, you can be like, Henry Cavill likes to play that.
There you go.
So we're going to be doing that.
So are you going to be Warhammering?
No.
No? Okay.
I also...
Can't see.
Not at 6 o'clock. I mean, if he would have had it earlier in the day, my eyes might still work. But by 6 o'clock, it's not happening.
Oh, my God, you're so funny.
But probably the thing you're interested in talking about, June 6th, or June 7th, which is Saturday, we're doing Sasquatch Saturday. So usually when we do a Sasquatch program, it's just one person coming in, doing a program, talking about it. We are devoting an entire day to Sasquatch now, because usually our Sasquatch programs are our highest attended programs.
And I mean, we all kind of joke about it or whatever, but I mean, there are so many people that are interested in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So we've given a whole day to them. At 10 o'clock, we are going to have a Bigfoot story time. And that is going to involve a story about Bigfoot and also pictures with Bigfoot.
Bigfoot will be there, according to his email.
Yeah.
AOL.
It's an AOL. I'm not allowed to say what his handle is because...
You can't tell.
Yeah, he doesn't want a lot of,
Bring your marbles.
He's a secretive person.
So if you want your picture taken with Bigfoot, so bring the kids to that. That's going to be at 10 o'clock.
Because I hear that Bigfoot's kind of stinky.
That's the skunk ape in Florida.
That's his cousin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They get confused
My bad.
a lot. I mean, he has messy hair and stuff, but he He uses, I don't know if you've seen that Dr. Squatch soap that you can buy. I think he uses that.
He does, and then he also sells beef jerky.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, ever since he's been making all that beef jerky money, like he's got plenty of money
Got
for
plenty
it.
of soap.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he can get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So that is at 10
Indoor
o'clock.
plumbing now. It's awesome.
June 7th, that's Saturday, June 7th at 10, children's story time with pictures with Bigfoot. And then at 11, we are having B. Mills, who she is one of the organizers of the Bigfoot Festival and what's going to be in Vinton County now.
Yeah.
So she's one of the organizers of that.
That's awesome.
And she's going to be doing a program called Ohio Bigfoot Howls and Hollers, which is just evidence presented that is just strictly Ohio-based evidence and
Okay.
stuff that's been found here in the state.
So
And yep.
does that mean a lot of audio evidence?
Yeah. She's got a lot of
Or is
audio.
they going
evidence.
to teach you like different Bigfoot calls? 'Cause I watched something on TV once. I don't know.
He kind of
The
has
guy
like
that does
a,
the Bigfoot. I forget what it's even
How's
called.
it go, Roger?
it's a high pitched scream.
Yeah,
like,
it's
isn't
like
it?
like a Yelp kind of.
Well, let's hear it.
I don't. John, take it away. I don't think I can do it. But yeah, it's kind of like it's like a call basically, and then somehow like.
Hey, they made me do a turkey
they'll-
call. The wild turkey people.
Yeah,
did.
they'll do that, and then like in the woods, it'll come back to them, like so.
Like it-
it's
like
like a
echoes
communication. Yeah, kind of. So it's like.
And then they like
Then
to
they're, like, knocking.
They knock on. They'll pick up a stick and knock on a tree with it.
A wood clack.
Wood clap.
A wood
yes.
clap.
See, there we go. Now, do you know how to do the call? Since you're.
It's like a hoot, right?
Yeah, kind of like maybe like kind of like a mixture between like an owl, sick.
It's like a high pitched hoot.
A high hoot.
Hi.
I only do that for cash.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll bring some dollar bills next time.
We'll throw some dollar bills at you, Ian. He said he only does it for cash.
So her presentation is at 11.
Okay.
And then after that,
We digress
at
again.
noon, we have From Myth to Mystery, Exploring the Evidence for Bigfoot. And that is going to be by Chris Parsons. Chris has been at the library before, and he did a UFO presentation because he used to work for MUFON, which is the Mutual UFO Network, and they send people out to investigate UFOs. He has now gone into the Bigfoot field, but they're all connected.
Gotcha.
Some people think that Bigfoot is
actually an
an
alien.
alien, or he's an interdimensional being.
Okay.
So he comes in and out of our dimensions, so that's how he's
Listen.
kind of like invisible at times.
I think anything's possible.
I saw a meme the other day about Bigfoot that was really exciting, and that they were sitting at a table and she was breaking the news to him. They were having a coffee, and she's like, "It's just because I never see you." And I thought that was really great. It made my day. It's the little things that keep me going in life. Like you see that first thing in the morning, and you're like, "Today's gonna be a good
That
day."
is just, I have just laughed my butt off already this morning. This is good.
Yeah. so-
Okay. So, no, that's interesting. Somebody that worked in the field of UFOs and all of that, and then has kind of moved over, so he would seem to have all
Yep.
kind of information.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it's going to be pretty exciting. Oh, and there's also going to be some Bigfoot themed vendors there as well. So we got some authors coming.
Some artists.
Sean Lane's going to be there selling a lot of his cryptid prints.
Yeah.
Who also a total media connection, who made our Bigfoot for us.
Yep.
Love that.
So it's very nice to, I mean, it's one good thing about Jackson is the community works together. All you gotta do is just text these people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you need a picture of Bigfoot? I'll get it to you by the end of the day."
We even have a Dank Squatch beer. So,
Might have to get. Is it on tap right now?
no.
I have time.
There's
we
a
should have
cool-
planned this out a little bit.
There's a guy, I know, right? There's a cool poster, though, in the brewery with it on there. I have people of all of the cool artwork that we have, that one is the one that people want to buy. They want to buy it. Which I guess I could hook him up with James K. Hamilton because he's the one that did that poster.
Yep.
Send him on his way. Anyway, speaking of talented.
So that's going to be a pretty exciting day.
So Sasquatch Saturday, lots of things. So you could come and go, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, if you don't,
Yeah, just drop in. Those things will be happening at those times, and then vendors will be there all day.
yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
But you might as well just come and stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because it's a Saturday. I mean, it's a Saturday. It's
Oh,
over
it'll
the
probably
course of,
rain.
like-
It's Ohio, so what else
Yeah.
do you have to do?
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah. Just starts in the morning, over at lunchtime. So spend your morning at the library.
Yeah, there you go. All right, what else you got?
I think that might be it for me. Yep. That's it for me.
Very good. Any info from the peanut gallery here?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that pretty well takes care of everything.
Sometime we're going to be having an open house for our garden whenever it's
Yeah.
ready.
Oh yeah,
is
that
true.
was going
Watch
to be
out
the
for
one
that.
thing I was going to ask you about, Roger,
We were-
is the garden and, kind of some of the plans that you have for that and hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I mean, the purpose of it really is kind of it's a multi-purpose area. We needed a space for our van, so that way we could have a garage was part of it, and then the other part was we needed more meeting space and more things where we can do some outdoor programs and that sort of thing. So,
Right, instead of
so it has
going to the park or going,
Yeah.
so now you
So it
kind of
has a
created
small,
your
like,
own
it's not,
little
it
thing.
doesn't hold a ton of people because it's, basically half of a city lot. But it'll house a decent amount to where we can do some of our messier programs. Like we're going to do our tie-dye program
Yes.
outside and those sort of things. And we have a nice little shelter house and there's shade. And then while people are out there doing like that, they can walk around and learn about pollinator plants or...
Right, because you are doing a pollinator garden out
Yep, we
there.
have a
which is
pollinator
super
garden.
cool.
We have water conservation stations, basically with information on how to do rain barrels and that sort of thing. Some bird habitats, bee habitats. So there'll be a lot of different things. There's outdoor musical instruments that'll be out there with some different information about like the local. We're gonna try to tie in some of our local musicians from history, basically, and
Yeah.
so anyway,
that.
it'll just be a nice like learning and educational garden.
And what I love too is just the pollinator garden. I mean, listen, our bees are our friends,
Yeah.
and without them, we don't live. We're not here on this planet, and I think it's important for the kids to understand. And I tell this story all the time. My big flower things out front of the tap room. There's tons of bees in them. I mean, but that's good. That's what we want. And but I talk to them every morning. It was like last year we kind of just became friends because I'm like, I'm gonna put water
There's
on this
the-
now, and if y'all want to
Yeah,
do
because
whatever,
those bees don't
and-
bother you anyway.
No, they
They're
just
not the kind of bee. They're
fly
not out to
around
get you.
and you disturb them for a second because they are like, what is going on? But then they just go back to doing what they are. And I just talk to them every morning. Literally, I know people would think I was insane if they walked by and heard. I mean, or it would be confirmed anyway. But no, it's good. So it's good for the kids. It's good for the adults to learn that the things that are pollinating and doing all the stuff that birds and bees do, they're our friends. They're
Yeah.
not
And I also
scary.
wanted to do things, have our stuff kind of in like planters and things that are kind of portable too. So that way, the children realize that you don't necessarily have to have a yard even. Like you could just,
Right.
if you live in an apartment complex and just have somewhere where you
can
can put a couple
still-
of like flower pots, like,
Yes.
you can learn how to make a little pollinator area to help
And
the
you
bees.
can grow your own little garden in pots too. So
so-
yeah, very cool.
Yep. One last thing.
Okay.
On June 16th, right? Yep. At 6 o'clock, we're going to start doing programs for children with autism.
Okay.
And that is
Love
kind of, I'm going to be more of like a informational meeting with the parents, see what kind of stuff that they would recommend for us to do with them.
Sure.
So if anybody out there that would like to participate in that meeting, that's going to be the 16th at 6.
Awesome.
So we're going to be doing,
And just show up for
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Okay. Very cool. That's a great idea.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, thank you for stopping by, and
thank you
thank
for
you to
having us.
everybody, and thank you for the fun shirt.
Yeah.
And Pete Wilson is here, and he looks like he's got all kind of news to let us know about. He does, and I haven't talked to Pete in a week, so I got to catch up with him too. So, all right. I'll tell you what. Thank you, friends from the Jackson City Library. Come back and see us anytime. And we do have another message. We'll be right back with Pete Wilson and some news.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Pete Wilson, who has tons of news, I know, to report on. And I haven't seen you for a week, so we've got to catch up.
Okay, well, while you were relaxing in sunny Florida, we were working our little buns off because it was Memorial Day weekend. And, you know, as, of course, Adrian and Liv know, we've talked about some of the things that have occurred. Too much to do in one segment. So we're still doing that. But I want to start off with the Jackson High School graduation, which was last Friday. Remember, the Telegram does comprehensive coverage of the graduation, throw a lot of pictures, information in. We recite portions, just excerpts of the speeches of the valedictorians and the top honor students, the best of class, whatever they call them at each of the schools. And I tell you what, you can learn something from these kids, from their thoughts about finishing high school, about starting their lives, what they have learned. And believe it or not, you know, these kids that have gone through with great academic rankings, maybe had perfect grades, it wasn't any pleasure cruise getting there. They had to overcome obstacles, they had to work hard. And the stories that I heard at the Jackson High School graduation were just wonderful success stories on how they overcame things to get to where they were. But in Wednesday's paper today's paper, actually, we finished it yesterday, so I'm always in a time warp there. But in today's paper, we have a 2-page spread of graduation, and Adrian's got some pictures queued up there that we will go over here from graduation. Some of these pictures you will see, and more you'll see in the paper if you check it out. This is the class of 2025, 159 strong. And this is we thank Seth Fain, who is the great photographer that works for the Jackson City Schools on a contract basis, does a great job. He's also doing that through Oak Hill now. And he's going to take a much better picture than I'm going to of a group. And, you know, you look carefully, you probably see some faces you know in there, you know, if you have connections with the class of 2025. This is the top school officials after they sat down just before graduation started. Some other top officials are getting seated there behind. They're getting into their places, but across from left to right there seated is District Treasurer Teresa McGinnis, School Board Member Kim White, School Board Member Kyle Hickey, School Board Member Pat McDonald, School Board Vice President Kim Harless, School Board President Brian Moore, and on the end in that terrific-looking red blazer is Superintendent Phil Howard. And this is just before the graduation ceremony began. They had just done the processional, and they had been seated there.
Awesome.
Okay, these are the kids, the 8 kids who were the valedictorians of the class of 2025, and I certainly want to give them credit. In the front row there, we have, from the left, we have all the way across, not the front row, but we can see them from left to right, so I'll just go plain left to right, not by rows. It's Easton McGraw, Emma Malone, Ian Reinhardt, McKinley Riley, Nolan Johnson, David Eflin, Ryan Stewart, and Tucker Williams. And all of them, of course, got to speak at graduation, and we have excerpts of what they said in our big graduation coverage. We did the same thing for Vinton County the week before, Oak Hill the paper after that, Jackson this paper, and we'll finish up with Wellston in Saturday's paper. It's so much coverage. Advertising supported, and some of those advertisers did all 4 schools, so we wanted to kind of spread it out a little bit. Plus, it took a while to get the work done. Did we have any others, Adrian, or was that it on the graduation?
Individual shots.
Okay, I want to show you some of these. Nolan Johnson, who is heading to West Point, he is the class president as well. He is being congratulated there by Brian Moore after receiving his diploma. I took this picture because Nolan is a valedictorian and the class president, and he happened to be the very first of 159 diplomas that were handed out that night.
Cool.
That is Easton McGraw, one of the valedictorians, and Josh McGraw, who is his father and a teacher, got to give him the diploma. That's something
cool.
that the Jackson City schools do, at least on some occasions, but it's been a repeated thing at graduation programs in recent years. If you're a teacher in the schools and your kid is graduating, you get to give them the diploma. Isn't that nice that they do that?
Cool.
Normally it is a school board member that does it. They take turns, the 5 school board members. But Easton is the second son of Josh and Terry McGraw. He is a valedictorian, and not only is Josh his father, Josh is his coach. The Jackson High School baseball team, which we'll talk about in a minute, still playing baseball right now. Okay, do we have any other? Oh, there's another one. Very similar. Tucker Williams is on the right. He's one of the valedictorians. That is his dad, Morgan Williams, who is a social studies teacher at Jackson High School, and he is the assistant baseball coach, and Tucker is on the team.
Yeah.
And Tucker today is going to be pitching for the Jackson Ironmen in the tournament game. And Morgan is not only an assistant coach, he's kind of the pitching coach.
Okay.
So he has a special bond with Tucker in a number of ways. Tucker, by the way, is going to Yale. So, Nolan going to West Point, Tucker going to Yale. They all have very ambitious futures ahead of them on what they're going to do in school, where they're going, what they're going to study. But those were 2 of them that we wanted to show you. Okay, some other news to tell you about. Not too long ago, they had a ribbon cutting for the expansion and improvement of General Tibbetts Drive. Do you know where General Tibbetts Drive is? Most people do not, so don't feel bad.
McCarty Lane or something? Somewhere?
Well, it's almost off McCarty Lane.
Okay.
That's one of the things that this project is going to do. Right now, you can access General Tibbetts Drive from McCarty Lane because they are building that big spec building back there that the Bowmans are doing. It looks like it's almost done. Maybe it is done. I'll have to check on that because it was supposed to be done in the spring sometime, but the structure is certainly up. They have kind of like a gravel way back there from McCarty Lane. But General Tibbetts Drive, as it stands now, is just a little unimproved lane off Veterans Drive that goes back to the Bellisio warehouse, which you can see from the road. And then behind there is where the new spec building is. This ribbon cutting, you can put that picture up there, Adrian. The picture of this groundbreaking, and there was a ribbon cutting last year. It wasn't a ribbon cutting. This is a groundbreaking because they're actually about ready to start construction. This road called General Tibbetts Drive, which isn't much, I'll tell you. It's just so a vehicle can get back there single lane. They're going to improve that road from Veterans Drive, make it better, bigger, and then extend it from the spec building to McCarty Lane. So you'll be able to go in McCarty Lane or Veterans Drive on General Tibbetts Drive. And here's the thing. This isn't a big through traffic thing. This is so you have a good access lane in there to promote development.
Absolutely.
Because the people that own property back there is more than one person, I'm told, that owns property back there. This makes it much more developable, I guess you could say.
Who's General Tibbet?
General, I have no idea who he was, but they named the road after him, and he must have been a general, We have Admiral Arthur Way, that goes right into Walmart there. And Veterans Drive, I think the Mayor Tom Evans called that Veterans Drive when that was built during his tenure as mayor. And General Tibbetts Drive, I think, has been there the whole time. It's just nobody uses it unless, you're going to that warehouse back there.
Well, now we need to figure out the mystery.
But the county commissioners were there. A representative for State Senator Shane Wilkin, who arranged some of the major financing, was there. They should be able to start construction almost any time. And what that'll do is it'll be a good access road through the 2 warehouses that are back there. The spec building could be used for warehousing, or it could be used for a single purpose other than warehousing, but it's there now.
Yeah.
And also, other land then will become much more valuable as far as the potential for buildings to be put there. They feel that this will create 200 jobs. I'm not sure how they calculated that, but that's what they think this road will lead to as far as job creation, new jobs, not existing jobs.
Yep.
So that work will be going kind of off the beaten path a little bit, but if you look from Veterans Drive, certainly the McCarty Lane, because that's where it's going to be extended. You will see a road being built there. Okay, I've got to skip real quickly to the sports because we're almost out of time. Last night, probably while you were arriving back in Jackson County, the Jackson Ironmen won their district semifinal game against the Chillicothe Cavaliers. That was over to High University Athens, Bob Wren Stadium.
Okay.
Game played pretty much in a continuous rain. It never got heavy. There was no storm, but it rained the whole time. But it is
Just blacky.
It is a turf infield and a very well-drained grass outfield. Whatever dirt they have in the infield seems to be resistant to the dirt, although I'm sure it was slippery. But Jackson fell behind 2-0 in that game. They were still behind 2-1 in the fourth inning, and then all hell broke loose as far as the offense is concerned.
Nice.
Gavin Jones, who was the winning pitcher, hit a 3-run homer. Now this is at a college stadium, so it's a bit of a drive. He hit the ball over the 330 sign. That's a major league size park.
Wow.
And that 3-run homer made a 2-2 game a 5-2 game. And so the Ironmen went on to win by a score of 11-2. But it was a little nervous there in the middle of the game. They were favored to win that game, but things weren't going right. They were getting runners on base, but they weren't able to get them in. That happens sometimes. But Gavin Jones, after giving up 2 runs in the first inning, didn't give up a single hit after the first inning, and they won easily 11-2. They will play, the turnaround time for the next game is about 24 hours. They'll play tonight at 6 o'clock against Circleville. The Circleville Tigers defeated the Athens Bulldogs 13-3 in a semifinal game after the Jackson game. They mercy run ruled the Bulldogs, who are a good team.
Athens is the only one that beat Jackson,
Athens
right?
is the only one that beat Jackson,
Oh,
so that
boy.
doesn't sound real good.
Yeah.
But Jackson will play Athens. Jackson is 25-1. Circleville, I think, has lost 4 or 5 games, but they're obviously a very good team. They beat Athens twice during the season, once in the regular season, once in the tournament. That game was supposed to be at 4 o'clock, but they have changed it now because other games that will be played in the future in that tournament bracket, one was not played because of the rain. And so they pushed the Jackson game back to 6 o'clock. I'm not sure why, but it was because that other game was not played at another site. So 6 o'clock, not 4 o'clock, at Bob Wren Stadium, same place. Whoever wins that game goes to the regional. That's 16 teams left in the entire state in Division III. That's what Jackson is in.
Okay, so Jackson will play tonight at Circleville?
No, it's at Bob Wren Stadium at Ohio University.
Oh, at Ohio University.
Right, same place. They play Circleville.
I gotcha.
Gotcha.
Play Circleville.
So that game is on, as always, it'll be streamed, and Dan Morrow and I will be there to bring you that game on the Total Media Sports YouTube channel. Had a lot of views yesterday on that.
I'll bet.
So people, I mean, we've had pretty good participation, viewership all year, but they're jumping on that bandwagon now since they're in the tournament. Plus, it was away from Jackson and on a rainy day on top of that. So 6 o'clock tonight. Also at 5 o'clock tonight, we talked about this yesterday, but we want to remind you the Wellston Lady Rockets are already in the regional tournament.
Okay.
The girls are 1 week ahead of the boys. They will play tonight against Tuscarawas Valley, which is up around Newark. They've only lost 2 games. Wellston, I think, has only lost 2 games. That game will be played over at Ohio University at the OU softball field, which is just yards away from the baseball field.
Oh, wow.
2 games involving
2
Jackson.
local games.
Right.
Yeah,
the
that's
Wellston
cool.
Lady Rockets, they play at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
The Jackson boys play at 6 o'clock.
So you could catch both games,
Right.
actually.
And if Wellston would win, they would go to the regional final. And if Jackson were to win, they'll go to the regional semifinal. And if Jackson wins, that's capital I, capital F, it would be next week at Chillicothe. They would not have to travel very far for the regional tournament. But one thing at a time, got to play tonight, got to win against a very good Circleville team. So we will be back tomorrow to tell you how those games went and to tell you a whole lot more about the news outside of sports.
Well, that sounds like a winner. So thank you, Pete, and we appreciate you taking time. Cheryl has a note.
General Tibbetts.
Oh,
how about
she
that? Well, bless her
researched
heart.
General Tibbetts.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, he was the pilot who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, Enola Gay.
Oh, okay.
Right, General Tibbetts. Okay, well, I remembered.
Interesting.
I remembered the man from Columbus. His name escapes me. Who was in that plane too. It wasn't General Tibbetts, but General Tibbetts must have been involved in that too somehow.
Okay.
The pilot who dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
In the Enola Gay. And then there was another plane.
Well, they did Nagasaki 3 days later.
And that was,
of course.
I forget what the other plane
I am not
was
sure.
called.
Everybody have heard of the Enola Gay. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, thank you, Cheryl,
Interesting.
very
Thank
much.
you.
Our research department comes through for us. How about
Hey,
that?
and now you know.
Right.
Okay. Well, very good.
And
Thank you, Pete.
I'm not sure what his connection is with Jackson. It might be just because he's an important person in history.
Maybe just in history.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, a little rain in the forecast today, but should clear up as it goes on this afternoon, we hope.
Right, and the game's at
We
6
hope.
o'clock. Right, the game's at 6 o'clock. So, if you're on a regular working schedule, we know people work all around the clock in today's world. But if you do work kind of like a day shift, you could get over to Athens. It's just about 35-minute drive over there. It's not going to be a great day, but it is not supposed to rain this afternoon. It may be cloudy. It may be like we're in England or something, but
Wales, maybe.
But it won't be like yesterday, where if you were at the game, you sat in the rain if you were not under cover.
There you go. All right, well, have a great day, everyone, and we will be back here tomorrow on Thursday, and we will see you then. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.